BakeOff supports Pride March. What's your best Pride March memory?
Well, last year was actually my first Pride March. It was a great experience. Great to be involved in the community and to, see all the supporters out there.
My best Pride March memory was probably the first one that I ever attended here in Melbourne. I'd lived here for about 2 weeks, and my friend and I just walked down, and we happened to just stumble on the Pride, and it was just amazing. It was full of colour, full of life, and everyone was so welcoming, and the friends that we met that day are still friends 10 years later, so yeah, we loved it. Thank you.
Yeah, my best Pride March would probably be my first one because I was like 16 and I went alone and I didn't know anybody there, and I ended up making some friends as well, and and just the atmosphere of having like thousands of people marching to Parliament.
It was my first Pride March when I marched in the march with Joy, 94.9, and that was just really nice and so lovely to have so much support, and yeah, scary but amazing at the same time.
I really want to create another one. The last one I went to, I was with my girlfriend and she didn't want to hold hands. So I got rid of her. So I think my next one I'll be taking my beautiful wife, and we'll be having a lovely time being together, eating a lot, drinking a lot, and partying on, enjoying the community.
My best memory was probably last year because it was so ridiculously hot that we were terrified that people weren't going to come, and they still turned up in their droves and marched regardless of how hot it was and how sweaty it was. It was a really nice vibe.
Mine, actually, I'd have to say with my ex. I know that was a very long time ago, but we'd gone through a lot of hell when we were walking down Pride March and we were holding hands together, and it was just kind of like walking through a car wash and cleansing us of everything. It was just like the next step. So, yeah.
Whore Pride. I think seeing friends of mine march with their 2 little girls for the first time was beautiful.
Seeing my mum and dad at one of the Pride marches for the first time was pretty cool.
BakeOff supports Pride March. What is your best Pride March memory?
I passed out on the side of the road at last Pride March in only my underwear, so probably not that one.
They're all pretty messy. Back when I was 18, I passed out and had people taking photos of me down St Kilda Beach. Yeah, not best and worst moment.
Got to live the high life.
Yeah, that's when you're young.
Well, I've only been to one Pride March, so I'd probably say I had a really great Pride March last year, though. It involved me just sitting out around St Kilda, eating ice cream with a whole bunch of the Joy people as well, and also, it's a beautiful sense of community that you see around there, everyone from everywhere, and it's got a beautiful, I hate to say family atmosphere, that's the wrong way of putting it, but you feel very warm and welcome and there's no pressure on anything, and that's what I love most about it. So I've only been to one, that was this year, and that's a good memory though.
Best Pride March. I think last year I feel very proud of myself for marching in 42-degree heat. Thank you.
My best Pride March memory would be this year actually, when I went to the brunch and I won the prize. So that was a pretty exciting moment.
I don't have one in Melbourne. I'm not from here. So it's yet to come. It's yet to come.
I've never been. I know, that's why I'm here. Because yes, I know. So that's why I'm here today, to help judge, and then I'll be there, don't you worry.
So easily when Christine Nixon retired, and she was a rock star marching down the street with all the police behind her. It was amazing. Best one.
Wow, that absolutely pouring down rain one where the rain was coming sideways and there was nobody there except for me in the pouring rain dancing.
I've never attended, so you can take me next year. Right.
The first one I went to, walking down the St Kilda Fitzroy Street and having people clap and the amount of people that were there and the enthusiasm from the people clapping. Yeah, it was great.
Mine has to be about 3-4 years ago when the march just ended and the heavens opened. And everybody dived into various bars nearby, and then there was this massive party atmosphere because everybody was
despite the weather, we're going to have fun. So it was extra party spirit, I think. And yeah, that was the best one.
Probably when I was a uni student, I lived in Adelaide, and I came over specifically to come to Pride March as a part of the Midsummer Festival. There wasn't a lot of community in Adelaide at that time, and so seeing all the pride flags come down Fitzroy Street in St Kilda was, I suppose, very moving as a teenager, and that visual and that image has stayed with me ever since.
When the weather is good, definitely. We've had some pretty terrible weather over the last few years, so just any time when the sun's out is fantastic.
I've only been to one, which was, I think, last year. I'd probably only just come out, really. Maybe it was the year before. And I just think the community aspect of it, the sun was shining. It was just a really, really fantastic day, and something I'd never experienced. So I was quite wide-eyed, and just the celebratory nature of the whole day, really.
I was 16. I'd just been to my first gay nightclub the night before, Heaven nightclub. I bumped into Boy George and seen Jimmy Somerville and Vronsky Beat playing on stage. I'd stayed over at my brand new spanking gay friend's home, and then he took me along to my first gay pride march. And I remember crossing over Waterloo Bridge and just seeing how many people were there, and just feeling just this massive sense of relief, wow, there's so many of us. And just that visceral feeling of freedom was just like the biggest rush I think I've ever had in my life, and such a relief from being in the closet.